Today we're making chicken salad here at the Young's house, and I'm going to show you how to make it taste delicious. This chicken salad recipe is special. There's a twist and a turn to it that makes it so special. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need some chicken, and I have decided to use rotisserie chicken. You're going to need some grapes, about a half a pound, and make sure your grapes are red and also make sure they're seedless. You're going to need some celery. One stalk is fine. And you'll also need a nice sweet Vidalia onion. You're going to need some spices to make it come together and taste good. We have salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. We're going to use a nice amount of it. And your favorite mayonnaise. You're going to need some walnuts, and if you have a nut allergy or you can't use them, just simply leave it out of the recipe. Make sure your hands are clean. Let Gina show you how to make the most delicious chicken salad you've ever had. Hope y'all are having a great day today, and if you're not, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this here recipe. Do you love chicken salad like we do here at the Young's house? If you do, let me know in the comment section below. And how do you make yours? This one right here, I don't know if you've tasted it before. If you haven't, you are in for a super treat. Now, if you don't eat grapes or you just didn't want to use them, there's another ingredient that you can use for this recipe. You could use the Granny Smith green apple. You really only need like one large Granny Smith apple, but you put it in here, game changer. One of the first things that we're gonna do is let's go ahead and take the skin off of our rotisserie chicken and shred our chicken. You can either shred it by hand like this or run through it with the knife to make your pieces much smaller. I love to use a rotisserie chicken. Number one, it's already pre-cooked for us, right? You know, you can find this in your local market. And I just order the kind that is cold, right? And so now listen to me. If you don't have a rotisserie chicken or your local market doesn't have it, you can always use canned chicken. Canned chicken is the best. It tastes so good. Or let's just say you got some chicken in your freezer. Boil it up. Boil it up. You don't even have to season it. Boil it up until it's fully cooked and give it a nice shred just like so. Quick and simple, right? Yes, we're going to be using all the parts of the chicken. I like to use the dark pieces and the white pieces. I know that there's a lot of people that when they make chicken salad, they just use the breast, you know, for the white pieces, but I use both. It makes it super spectacular. You can trust me on that. And so now what we're going to do is break our chicken into smaller pieces just by going through it several times using this motion with our knife, quick and simple. Let's go ahead and get our chicken right into a nice medium-sized bowl, and then we'll start to chop up our vegetables. When you chop up your vegetables, make sure they're not big, huge pieces. You want them to be diced down pretty fine because nobody really wants to bite down into a big piece of celery or the fresh onion, but you need both of them, so chop them down nice. Go ahead and get started on our celery. One stalk is always enough. Make sure you wash your vegetables off. You want to wash off those pesticides, right? And then again, you never know who's handled your veggies before they got to your house. Nice and fine. Lovely. Back to make it even finer. Then bring it back in until you get the size you're looking for. Go ahead and put our celery in. Just like so, and then we're going to start on the onion. Now, although we're putting the onion in, don't put too much in. You don't want to overwhelm the flavor of this chicken salad. This is a medium-sized onion, and you can really see I'm just using this little bit. And we're going to chop it down once again, like I said, nice and fine. Okay? Well, there we go. Going right in, just that little bit. And now we're going to season it, and I'm going to show you how to season it, right? Listen, if you are somebody that's always afraid to season your food is going to be flavorless, all right? We don't want it flavorless, especially if you're making it Gina Young style. Put you some flavor in. Now, if you can't use salt, leave it out, right? Your loved ones can put salt in themselves. That's the salt. This is the black pepper. We're going to put a nice amount of onion powder on purpose and a nice amount of garlic powder. Even though we're using fresh onions, always use garlic powder, all right? Always use onion powder. There we go. Garlic powder and an interesting ingredient. We're going to use some sugar. This is not enough sugar to make it sweet. Trust me on that. It's enough to give it an umami factor, make them say umami every time, and they will. So now let's put our walnuts in, and although they're chopped, chop them up a little bit more. You don't need a whole lot. Don't overwhelm it with the walnuts, but make sure you put them in. Walnuts, they're going right in. And I cut them down nice and fine. And so now when you do with your seedless grapes, you want to make sure that there is absolutely no stem in them. Of course, we're going to cut them. I do have a smaller knife here. I'm going to cut them just in half like that and throw them right in. You put in as much or as least as you would like to have in your recipe. Continue to slice some more grapes. I got some leftover chicken today, and what I'm going to do is I'm giving it to my dogs. So today they're going to have chicken for their lunch and their dinner. They are so stinking spoiled. And now it's time to put our mayonnaise in. I always like to tell people, when you're dressing a salad, don't dress it too much. Yes, you want it to be nice and moist. You don't want it to be dry, but you don't want it to be soaking wet, right? Absolutely. And you don't want it to be dry. So what I say is start off with a little bit. You can always add 2. So once we mix this in, then we'll see what consistency we have. Keep your spices nearby, because once we taste this, let's just say it doesn't have the flavor you're looking for, get your spices right here. Okay, so we're going to make sure that we give it a nice taste. You want to know what you're feeding to your family and friends, right? And if you don't taste the food, you don't know what you're feeding to them. I like to taste the food until it's seasoned to perfection, and then I can just sit back and twiddle my toes and know that it tastes good. Oh, look at that. Now that's what chicken salad is supposed to look like. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, what you waiting on? Tell your family and friends. Tell the world what Gina's doing in this kitchen every single day. And Father, once again, we thank you for providing a meal in your hedge of protection. Amen. Let's taste. Whether you're putting this inside of a sandwich on a croissant, you're eating it with crackers, or you're eating it like this, any way it goes, delicious. This is perfect for dinner, lunch, or a snack, even breakfast. Oh, I'm gonna get another fork. It's right here. This is chicken salad. Make you some.